Hi, so I'm out here. I'm actually inside a brook, sitting here on the rocks, and it's kind of hot out. Thought it would be nice to come in and just splash myself a little bit with the cool water and just sit and think a little bit. I've been trying to look for some answers about something that came to the forefront for me in terms of, somebody that I came into contact with. Um, when I first reconnected with them, like off the bat, I sensed something like that. Something was off with them. That something was influencing them or was in their field, their energy field. And because, they had been a prior mentor of mine, I just ignored it. Um, and along the way, it's like the more I interacted with them, the more I was seeing little signs, and I just kept kind of just, letting it be, putting it off to the side. Um, and I'm at the point where just the more things went on, um, the more I had these concerns about the information that I was receiving, or I should say the feedback about certain things. And I actually been having a couple of dreams here and there. Um, sometimes like you'll get information, and yeah, sometimes you'll get it like straightforward through a dream or a sign or whatever, right? Or through a person just saying something, and it's just so right on, it's hard to ignore it. I had a couple of dreams, here and there, and I finally kind of pieced it together. I wasn't sure who specifically it was. Sometimes I'm shown directly who something's about, and sometimes I'm shown a representation. Um, and it's, kind of for me to figure out who that representation is. So I'm feeling kind of disheartened about the whole thing, even though it really has nothing to do with me. You know, it's just, I guess the way I felt, interacting with this person over time. It's, and it's interesting because like when I reconnected with this person, I was at my like a peak. I won't say my peak because I feel like we always hit, peaks, and then we kind of may dive into a valley and then hit another peak. And it's funny that sometimes, like when you're at a peak and then you meet somebody, and it was like all of a sudden I started playing small again, um, and kind of adhering to this other person and their expertise and their information. And literally before that, I had just decided like I was done with um, kind of just taking, I just decided I was going to be more discerning about, what information I was going to, be accepting from different people. Um, in some ways, I just allowed other people to tell me how things were, even though I knew, that there were certain things that were not correct about what they were saying. Things just didn't feel right at certain times. I'm not saying everything, but there were certain aspects. And again, I thought, well, they must know better. And you know what? They didn't. Everyone does the best that they can. We all have our own perceptions, and we make mistakes. We do the best that we can with the knowledge that we do have. And so it's kind of like I feel like I've been on this journey of just, am I going to play small again? Um, and, even as, I started doing my energy work again, um, uh, and coming out from behind the scenes, it was like this piece of me was still kind of testing things out and saying, well, maybe I'm going to still play it small. Um, and then I guess once things kind of really came clear for me, that I couldn't really work at a job that I was going to feel small at, because I'm so past that. And right after I made that decision, things kind of really blew open with this person, like the clarity that there was something really, really wrong. Um, and I wish them the best, and I hope, that they can gain some clarity. I did speak up and relay over some of my concerns, um, you know, but um, it's challenging sometimes when you're talking to someone and they're acting like, you're the one with the issue. Um, so I'm the first one to like look inside and go, okay, what do I need to fix? This is mine, and to take responsibility for something. And I just feel like there's a consistent theme, that I, continuously work on, is not accepting something just because someone else says, hey, that's in your court. Um, over the last couple of months, I've just seen that different people I've interacted with, like I said, certain aspects that they laid in my court were not in my court. And whether they knowingly, sometimes they knowingly did it, sometimes it was unknowingly. Like I said, we all do our best, and sometimes we make mistakes, even me. But I'm just not willing to allow people just to lay things in my court anymore and just be like, oh, okay, I have to fix this. It's mine. It's my problem. The problem is with me. Um, it seems to be a very big misconception in a lot of, I want to say, circles that talk about energy or spirituality. Um, and it just seems like, I've gotten some good experience with this. And I've learned a lot of good lessons from it. So, just because someone is a mentor or a teacher, or they seem like they have all these, powerful gifts, that doesn't mean that they're always right in what they're saying. I would say if something doesn't feel right inside, question that and don't ignore it. And if you do, which, like I said, I did, there were times when I just kind of let it go. You will come to the point where you realize you just can't ignore it anymore. And in a way it's awesome, because then you look at yourself and you realize that you have the answers. There are times when you will look for information from other people and share it, but don't ever ignore the information you get. Certainly you can bounce it off of other people, but if it's something that you feel inside really strongly about, I would go with that and pray about it. That's what I do. I ask for, information. I ask for answers to questions. And you won't, I don't always get them in one piece. Sometimes most of the time it comes in little pieces. And I have to it's like a pieces of a puzzle. I have to piece things together. So I just feel like I'm trying to get, I want to say, back to myself, although like I'm not who I was a couple of weeks ago. So it's just like a new sense of self and center of gravity. It's a non-workout day for me in terms of strengthening muscles and stuff, but I just wanted to go out for a nice walk in nature and just honestly bring me back to myself. And I really feel like that when I'm out here, just listening to the sounds of the brook, to the birds chirping, just the feel of the energy coming off of the trees, the feel, the cool water, honestly, just like reawakening the senses and reconnecting. That when you get back in touch with your senses is when you do reawaken. So, that's what I'm doing. So I'm always going to be real here. I'm always going to tell you, hey, I totally effed up, or, you know, had some realization, or, maybe right now I don't know about something I'm working on right now in my own life, or whatever it is. That's the journey. Nobody has all the answers. And anybody who tells you that, I would really question that. No healer can heal everything for you. There are things that we all have to go through, because it helps us grow, and it helps us get stronger. And I don't mean the stronger in types of, can I handle more emotional or psychological trauma or pain, because those are called, trauma loops, and that's not a way to show your strength. Strength is getting out of those trauma loops and pain cycles. So that's kind of all I have to say for today. But just gonna get another little splash in here. Ooh. That water feels like amazing. I wish I could just, honestly, if I was in my bathing suit right now, I would just go right in. It just feels that refreshing and awesome. Anyway, you'll be hearing from me soon again. If you have any comments, please do so. You can always email me at spiritualjelly.org@gmail.com, or email me on my website. My website is spiritualjelly.com. All right, take care.